Hi, my name is Eiland, and I'm a senior at LaGrange High School. The LaGrange Youth Council and Success by Six wanted to let you know that 20 minutes of daily reading can make a big difference in a child's success in school. Today, I'll be reading the book, The Mitten, by Jan Brett. So let's get reading. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. At first his grandma, Baba, did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted white mittens, snow white mittens, and finally Baba made them. After she finished, she said, "When you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, but then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens." So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. Can you see where Nicky left his mitten? Right under the tree. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then he saw the mitten, and he wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for them both, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. Look at that rabbit and mole snuggled in that little mitten. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being one to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he came, he decided to move in also. The mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled, but when he saw the owl's jilty tonsils, they quickly let him in. Now, what animal do you think is going to join the mitten next? Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, but when they saw his diggers, they gave him a thumb. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A wrap of warm, steeped rose in the air, and the fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just a sign of a cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. Look at all those animals. You can kind of see the hedgehog, the owl, the rabbit's ears. I think that's the dodger right there. What do you think's going to join next? Oh my goodness. a great bear lumbered by. He spied the Mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in tightly as they could be, but what animal would argue with a bear? I wouldn't argue with a bear. The Mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged too many times its size, but Baba's good knitting held fast. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wriggled into one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. Would you join in with all those animals in the Mitten? The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Achoo! The force of the sneeze shot the Mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was his lost Mitten, silhouetted against the blue sky. You can kind of see the poor animals who were blown away by the bear's sneeze on the side. As he ran to catch his snow-white Mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. See Baba in the window, looking for him. And the end. See one little tiny mitten that he didn't lose, and here's the big stretched out one by all the animals. Thank you for reading along with me today. I hope you had fun and hope you enjoyed the Mitten.